Okay, so let's take a look at iPhone tips and techniques. I have a demonstration here. I'm going to use my iPhone SE, but a lot of this functionality should be probably similar on most iPhones. Let's start by taking a look at home screens. On my home screen, you can see there's two dots on the bottom. That means that I have two home screens. So if you had four home screens, you'd have four dots. And the one on the left is going to be your main home screen. And to get to the next one, you just swipe from left to right, which I will do. Get to my second home screen. And if you want to go back, all you have to do is swipe back again from left to right or press your home button. So I'm going to press my home button and I'm back to my main home screen. The next thing we like to take a look at is the control center. It's pretty handy. You can swipe up from the bottom of your screen to see that. And it's a pretty convenient way to look at a good handful of the controls and settings that you can quickly do, like airplane mode up on the top there, the Wi-Fi underneath that type of thing. The 6 on the bottom are ones that I added. So your phone will come with a standard setup of a control center, and you can't really change the default that comes with your phone, but you can add or remove as well. So let's take a look at that. You get into settings to do that. So I'm going to press the home button, and then I'll open up settings. And then I need to find control center. And there it is. So tap on that. And what's nice about that is there are lots of controls you can decide to put in there, and you can personalize them as you care. What you'll see right now initially is the ones that I added. The flashlight, I think that's pretty handy, so I added that. Timer, I like having that available. Calculator, camera, and sleep mode. So I basically put them in there, but then if you scroll down, initially you're not going to have any that you added, right? But if you scroll down, you'll see there's lots of controls. Alarm, dark mode, all kinds of stuff, okay? So you might want to experiment with that a little bit and personalize it to your preference. So I'm going to press the home button and go back to my home screen again. Next, let's take a look at notifications. Your notifications, to see them, you swipe down from the top of your screen. So let's do that. And what you see in there is going to depend somewhat. There's a standard setup that you get with a new phone, but you can personalize it, again, by getting into settings. And you can really do a lot of personalizations in there. I'll show a little bit of it in here. So let's go to home. And then I'll get into settings again. And then we'll look for notifications, but it's where I was last time I was in settings. So I need to go back. And notifications right near the top of my screen. So I'll tap on notifications. And there are lots of tweaking you can do in here. I have show previews never because I'm doing a presentation and I don't want my smartphone to interrupt this presentation with notifications and stuff. But you can turn that on and off. And then notifications that are available depend upon the applications you have on your phone. Some applications will have notifications available, some won't. Some will have different types of notifications available, like those little red badges, they call them, those circles, like with email, it says you got 10 emails or something that you didn't open up yet, that type of thing. So if you look at one good example of this would be my AAA application. And you see there, I'm allowing banners, which will appear at the top of your screen. I'm allowing sound, so it'll make a noise. I'm also allowing badges, which is that little red like circle thing with numbers and it'll show up. So if I tap on AAA, for example, open it up, I also can say whether I want them to appear on my lock screen. I can say, do I want them in my notification center, which we're looking at now? You can also say, do I want banners? And banner style, you can change that. Sounds, badges again, that's how you turn them on and off with the on-off switch there. Show previews. You know, there's lots of little things you can do to tweak that. So if you get in there, experiment with a little bit of that, you can get your phone to behave a little bit more to your liking. So we'll go back to the home screen again. Okay, so next thing we'll look at is the Today screen. Today's screen has lots of information in it. And if you take the standard setup, you might not be really happy. But again, you can edit it and make it, personalize it to your liking. So we'll swipe to the right from the left side of the screen to open that up. And what you'll see there is I have a widget. We'll talk about them a little bit later in the presentation here from the New York Times in there. And I have one on how-to that comes with your phone. So you can put almost any type of widget or thing in there that you want to, and do that by editing. So if you tap on the edit button, that plus sign over there, if I tap on that, it'll show me the widgets that are available. I'll get into that in a minute as far as the details on widgets. But you can add them here or remove them. The minus sign is how you remove them. Plus sign, you find one and you add it. So I'm going to go back to the home screen again. And then the app library. This is something that can be pretty handy. Some people don't realize how useful it can be. Basically, if you want to, you can remove any of your applications from the screen. So if I press on books and hold it down, long press, I can edit home screen. And I can tap that minus sign and remove books from my home screen. But it doesn't delete the app from my phone, which means that if I rarely use books and I don't want to be tripping over all the time, I can take it off whichever home screen it's on by just editing it. I'll press the home button again to get out of edit mode. So let's get into the app library. That one, to get there, you need to swipe to your last home screen. So I'll swipe from right to left. I'm on my second home screen. And then you need to swipe one more time beyond your last home screen. So I'll do that again. And there you see them. App library. It sits at the top. And some of these icons are kind of tiny. And I pressed more than I wanted to there. Cancel that. But basically, at the top, you have the search. That little magnifying glass. That can be pretty handy if you're not sure and you want to just find one and it's kind of tiny. Like calculator over here. I think that was calculator in there, wasn't it? Yeah, see the calculator was kind of small, right? So, but anyway, this is the app libraries where you find all the apps that are on your phone. So if you can't find one, this is where you go to find it. The other thing is that it's a pretty handy way to get them back or just to open one up that you rarely use. So in other words, if I want to get there, I think I have to long press it, not tap. Watch, I'll long press on the news app. So now it gives me that pop-up menu, okay? And if I keep pressing on it, it gets into edit mode, and I can just drop it right here. It gives me the option of another home screen. See that third dot? So if I wanted to, I could put it on its own new home screen, or I could drag and drop, put it anywhere, okay? So I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to do minus because I really don't want it. So remove from home screen, okay? And then home button, and you're back home again. Another thing that some people forget about is the open apps. If you want to see your open apps, you double press on your home button. So in order to demonstrate that, let me open up a couple apps. I'm going to open up the Post Bulletin. And then I'm going to just hit my home button. And I'll open up books. And I'll go to my home button. Now, if I want to see all my open apps, I can double press the home button. And then you'll see like a little smaller representation of each application that's open. You can scroll through them by scrolling to right or left. And this one here is my Zoom application that's open for my share screen. Settings is still open, Post Bulletin, that kind of thing. So that's handy if I wanted to navigate. It's easy just now to navigate to something by tapping on it. Now I'm in the reading. Hit home button, I go back home. Double press, see the opens. If I want to close it, all I have to do is is like press on the bottom of the books and swipe it up and away. So I'll do that right now, and it's gone. So this closed it. This was pretty useful. If you, like me, I get tons of applications open, especially I'm just working things and stuff, and it's nice, I think, every once in a while just to clean it up and close them. So that's how you would do that. Next, let's take a look at how you can save space on your home screens with folders. As you can see on my main home screen, I have Apple apps, lots of them, that I put right into that one folder there. I also have Google apps that I put in one folder. So how do you create one? It's actually not terribly difficult. I'm going to create one for New York Times books and Post Bulletin apps on the bottom of my home screen there. All you have to do to start with is drag one of the app icons onto the other. So I'll press, and I'll say Edit Home Screen. And then I'll drag and drop books on top of Post Bulletin. And what it automatically does is it'll create you a folder now, because you got two apps together, and it's going to take a guess at what you might want to call them. That was a pretty good guess, but I'd rather call it reading. So what I can do is I can tap on it, and I can X out news and type in reading. And now I have reading done. Okay. And then I'll press again. And then in order to get the New York Times in there, I got to do the same thing one more time. I need to get into edit mode. So I'll press. And see, if you press long enough, it automatically goes into edit mode. Pretty handy, right? So I'll drag and I'll drop it. There it is. Now, another thing you can do while you're in there, if you like, is you can rearrange them, right? You can kind of like move them around. When you only have 3 on there, it's probably not a big deal, but I'll go to my home screen. If you have Apple apps like I do there, and you really use the App Store a lot, you might want that to be up on the top. So I'll put that up there. And now it's kind of a little more convenient, because you see, I have more than one screen full of them in there. I don't use music or iTunes Store very much, so I've just let them be on page 2. I could also remove them and just find them in the App Store. So I'm gonna hit my home button, and again, now I'm back at my main home screen. So one more thing I promised I was going to tell you about. Oh wait, first let me show you, how do you get rid of a folder? What if you decide later, I don't like having that reading folder, I want those apps right there on the bottom of my screen the way they were? Well, then get into edit mode again. And then what you can do is get into the folder, and you can drag and drop. You probably guessed this, but anyway, you can drag and drop. Now I got reading PB out of there. If that's all I want to do, I'd be done. But no, I want to do more. I want to take them all out of there. I'll do that. And now we still have one in there yet. And drag and drop. And it automatically deleted the folder once it was empty. Okay. So we'll press the home button, go back home again. And one more thing I promised I was going to tell you about was widgets. A lot of people don't quite understand widgets well enough. What they are is that's a convenient way for applications to provide information to you at a glance. And I think the weather app is a really good example of that, which I removed from my home screen so I could show you how to add it. so we'll do that now. We'll get into edit mode. You can also press on an empty space on your home screen to get in edit mode, and it'll just go right into edit mode. So that's, if you got empty space, that's probably an easy way to get in. But now if you want to get widgets, as I said earlier, that's that plus sign in the top right side of your screen. So if I tap on that, I'll see which widgets are available. And you notice that the very first widget that shows in my list is a smart stack. And that's something a lot of people don't understand that can be really useful. A smart stack is what it maybe sounds like. You can think of maybe credit cards, a stack one on top of the other. And what you do is it's a group of widgets. In this case, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dots on the side there. So that means that this smart stack has 7 widgets in it. And what you can do is you can scroll through those widgets by swiping down or up. And also they're smart. So what they attempt to do is they attempt to show you something that you want to know at a certain time of the day. And so they don't always get that right. So what you can do is you can edit it. I'm not going to get into all those details today, but if you want to know more about smart stacks and widgets and how to deal with them, we already have some videos out in our YouTube channel. So check out the iPhone videos on widgets, and we'll have smart stacks and widgets and how to edit them and stuff like that in there. We're always willing to take constructive feedback. If you think there's something missing that you'd like us to add, let us know, and we'll take a look at adding another video or maybe redoing it and adding that information to the video for you. So widgets, how do you get one now? Let's get into that. I want to get the weather widget, and as you can see, that's right on my screen, right on the middle there. So I'm going to tap on weather forecast. There's 3 dots, which means that there are 3 different formats available. There's a kind of like a smallish shaped one, and then in the middle there's one that's kind of filled the width of your screen, and then the third one is another one that's kind of tinyish and provides a lot of information, but it's kind of small. And so I kind of like the one in the middle because it's wide. It provides you more information at a glance, and it's a little easier for me to read. So I'm going to, when you're looking at the format you like, all you have to do is tap on Add Widget. And my phone decided that I might want to see that right at the top of my home screen. If you don't like that, just drag and drop it somewhere else. Put it on another home screen. Or even put it on your today screen. See? So that's how you add a widget to your today screen. You could have went in there and hit plus there and done that. I like it where my iPhone put it right there in the top of my home screen. I find myself using that a lot. And one of the things that this widget will do is at certain times of day, it presents different information. So like during the day, it tells me what's going to happen next in the weather, but at night, it kind of shows me what the weather's going to be like in succeeding days, that type of thing. So they're kind of handy that way. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you still have questions, self-help is available for free from our website, www.125livetechmates.org. Also through our YouTube channel, 125 Live TechMates. Personal assistance is free for 125 Live members. We have open labs at 125 Live and via Zoom. We can also be emailed at 125livetechmates@gmail.com. If you include your name, phone number, and a brief description of your issue. Personal assistance can also be arranged via phone and Zoom. Again, that is for free for 125 Live members. To join, call 507-287-1404.